So Guillermo Rigondeux versus Moises Flores was overturned to a no contest by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Does Rigo have any gripes about it? Absolutely not. The man Rigo says, and I quote, he says, I respect the Nevada State Athletic Commission's decision, but I had no intentions of throwing a late punch. That's how he kept it, short and simple, you know what I mean? Nothing more to it. Okay? They asked him would he like a rematch with the man. The man said, nah, that's old news now. He's moving forward. And what does he want? He wants a fight with Lomachenko. Now, this is a fight that should happen, man. You see, I got these guys right here. These guys are Olympians, okay? These guys right here, two gold medalists each from two different Olympics, you know what I mean? You know, that's like the only guys in boxing who've ever accomplished this feat. And these guys right here, they need to fight, man. I don't know why there's not a lot of clamoring and wanting this fight from the usual suspects, you know. But I've seen a lot of people been clamoring for this fight, you know, and I'm happy and I'm proud of those guys who putting it out there that you know they want to see this fight happen. I've been wanting to see this fight, you know what I mean? In my opinion, the man Rigo is due for a big fight because you know fellas ain't trying to fight him. People might try to make excuses for Lomachenko and say, oh, Lomachenko, they say, oh, look at Lomachenko. He's a bigger star than Rigo. Lomachenko has even had a shorter career coming into the being a pro, turning pro when 2013, while Rigo's been a pro since like 2009. You know what I mean? And they say, oh, he's accomplished more. Like I'm like, what the fuck has he accomplished more? Besides being gassed up by HBO. You know, HBO's first little guy that they were supposed to, on top rank, was supposed to propel, because now he's on pound for pound rankings, was Guillermo Rigondeux. You know what I mean? They ran Guillermo Rigondeux off the channel. Then they tried to bring in Chocolatito and this guy, Lomachenko. These guys have lost, you know. I didn't think Chocolatito lost his last fight, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they were trying to propel him to pound for pound rankings when they had Guillermo Riggin down the channel. But they ran him off the channel, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Lomachenko, excuse me, is a guy that HBO, Jim Lampley on his show, on that fight night, or what is it, that Jim Lampley show on HBO, the fight game. They have actually Lomachenko as number one pound for pound, even over Andre Ward, even though Andre Ward did what the guys they gas up wouldn't do. You think Triple G, they tried to get a fight with Triple G and Andre Ward. He never took that fight. Andre Ward said, I ain't got time to wait for this guy. He went up to the light heavyweight division, had a couple tune-up fights. Then he fought the man with three straps, you know what I'm saying? He fought the guy that was available, the guy that they will push. HBO was pushing him to fight. HBO was like, man, you don't need to fight. They didn't want a Triple G versus Ward fight because they know the outcome. So they threw him to a killer in Kovalev, and you seen what Andre Ward did, you know what I mean? Now a guy like Lomachenko, this guy's been propelled by HBO, but he wasn't the first little guy. My guy right here, Guillermo Rigondeux, was the first little guy to make noise on that channel, but they didn't want to give him his props. A guy like Lomachenko, a slick boxer, you know what I'm saying, got impeccable footwork, nice hand speed, you know, a slick fighter. But they praise this guy, you know what I'm saying? But when it's a brother fighting in a slick manner, in a slick, cute style like Guillermo Rigondeux, fellas like Floyd Mayweather, you know, HBO and these guys, they diss these guys. They say these guys are boring. Not just HBO, ESPN too, Dan Raphael and them. You know what I'm saying? But when it's Lomachenko fighting in a slick manner, they say, oh, look at this. I've never seen this before. This is so amazing. You know what I'm saying? So you see the hypocrisy and the contradictions there. But Guillermo Rigondeux is calling Lomachenko and them bluff, you know what I mean? He says he's willing to fight him at 126, but if they not trying to fight at 126, I'm willing to come to 130 and fight you, you know what I mean? And, you know, Lomachenko and them, they not even speaking about this guy. You know, we're going to have to see, man. A DuckTales video is soon about to come up, and the man Lomachenko will be the prime candidate for a DuckTales video because, you know, this guy's not speaking about Rigo. Rigo even put a poll on his Twitter, you know what I'm saying? And last I checked, the poll was, who do you want to see Lomachenko fight next? Do you want him to fight Orlando Salido, or do you want him to fight Guillermo Rigondeaux? The poll was overwhelmingly favoring Guillermo Rigondeaux. It was about 83% of the people who did vote for the poll. They wanted to see a Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko fight. The other 17% wanted Salido versus Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying? So 83% was in favor of Rigo, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of boxing fans don't really want to see that fight again, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we'd like to see the fight, but a more compelling fight is Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Rigo. I'm sorry, versus Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying? And that's the fight that Bob Arum and them need to make, but I doubt they're going to put this man in there with them, man. This man, they ain't trying to risk Lomachenko doing what he did to, what's his name? Doing what they did to Nonito Donaire, you know what I'm saying? So that's not gonna happen, man. They not trying to risk that, you know what I mean? And you know, especially since HBO and them are saying that this guy's the number one pound for pound fighter on the planet. So you know, Guillermo Rigondeaux got his victory taken away from him. So be it, but you know that's all on the Nevada State Athletic Commission and Vic Draculich's fault. You know what I'm saying? These guys actually should have actually given this man time to see if he's okay. Moises Flores, you know what I'm saying? Give him his 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then they should have continued to fight. You know what I mean? I said it on my previous video. Yeah, these guys, they didn't do their job correct. You know what I mean? And it cost the man Rigo. You know what I'm saying? Moises Flores is lucky. He's lucky, man. He's jubilated with glee because he ain't got a loss on his record. You know what I mean? He ain't got that that KO on his record. Him getting knocked out. You know what I mean? So Guillermo Rigondeaux, them, man, they need to push for this fight. You know, I'm glad that he's calling Lomachenko out. You know what I'm saying? We got to see the fight. Why wouldn't we see the two guys with the best amateur resumes ever, Rigo and Lomachenko? Why wouldn't we want to see them fight? Why shouldn't they fight? You know what I'm saying? You know, they've had negotiations before, but Lomachenko and them are playing hardball, you know. I would usually say, you know what I'm saying, Guillermo Rigondeaux, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go up 2 weight classes and fight this guy. Usually doesn't work right, you know what I mean? Fellas like Kell Brook tried it. You know, they got beat up by Triple G. Amir Khan tried it. He got beat up by Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else tried it recently. Shit. Can't quite remember, you know. But you know what? The greats have done it. Fellas like Roy Jones, they've done it. They've gone up and they beat the guy. They beat John Ruiz. Michael Spinks went up. He jumped 2 weight classes, went up to from light heavyweight to heavyweight. He beat, although controversial, he got Larry Holmes for his title. So you know the greats can do it, in my opinion. Manny Pacquiao's done it when he came from what 180 when he was like at flyweight and he came to 122. Although Lilo Ladwaba is not a great, but he came up there and he handled his business. You know what I'm saying? Beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? So that man Manny Pacquiao jumped 2 weight classes, bantamweight. You know what I'm saying? And I think it and super flyweight. You know what I mean? From 112 to 122. So you know the great fighters can do it. Guillermo Rigondeaux, do I consider him great? Yes. So what I would usually say, no, don't do it. But man, I think the man's a great fighter, and I think he knows what he's doing when he's jumping out the window saying, "I'll come to 130 and fight you." You know what I mean? He's called Lomachenko's bluff. We'll see what Lomachenko's next move is. You know what I mean? Because on the real, Lomachenko's trying to get or Salido, excuse me, is trying to fight Loma. Something's going on in them negotiations where Salido's not happy. I think it's the venue and the date. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko and them want him to fight early. He just fought like last month or 6 weeks ago. They want him to come in there early. You know what I'm saying? But the man needs a full 8-week training camp. So you see the tactics that Lomachenko's team be on, you know what I'm saying? Rigo, I'd advise you, you know, if you know what you're doing, do it, you know what I mean? But don't be like Nicholas Walters, you know what I'm saying, trying to jump out there for a paycheck, you know, because on the real, man, it's not worth it, you know what I mean? But if you feel you're ready for it, like I said, the great fighters can do it, you know what I mean? The great fighters have done it, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Fellas like Alexis Arguello, he tried to jump one division from 135, you know what I'm saying? After he beat Jim Watt, he tried to go up there and fight Aaron Pryor, but Aaron Pryor's a different type of monster, you know what I mean? Sugar Ray Leonard did it, man, after a 3-year hiatus, came up and fought Marvin Hagler. Well, however you feel about that fight, man, I got mixed reviews. Some days I see Sugar Ray winning, some days I see Marvin winning, some days I have a tie. You know, I have a draw, 6-6 apiece, you know what I mean? Damn, I wish I Marvin Hagler, man, them fellas, man. Damn, I wish he got that victory, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't know why he tried to box with that man for the first 4 rounds, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know? But Guillermo Rigondeux, I think he's a great fighter and I think he can do it, you know what I mean? So let me know in the comment section what y'all think. You know, like I said, I'd advise him not to do it, but he's a great fighter. I think he can do it. And you know, it's just crazy, man. The man Guillermo Rigondeux's career, man. You know, they took a victory away from him when Draculich and them didn't do their job correct. It's crazy, man. Leave your thoughts and comments. Be Marsh Boxing. I'm out. Peace.